have to change it and move forward again, right? You can't retro back and change whatever we did. Now, something else you guys mentioned about the bulldozing. Sue is she can contest right here. Then I don't know if you saw me that day, but I walked right in front of the bulldozer and threw my hands up and said, "Stop! What the hell are you doing?"
No, that is not true. The day before, you said they were going to hand clear for a fence that would only be 5 feet wide. When the bulldozer showed up, you said, "I'm sorry, it's something we had to do." My fence guy told me, and this is what you said. The fence guy told me he needed more room. It's an unfortunate incident. It had to happen.
And the D9 wasn't there yet. When the D9 came, did that, when I came and saw it, is when...
How can you do that? How can you throw your hands up and say, "You know what, all of this has gone awry. I take full responsibility," and yet I'm not taking responsibility.
But that's what I am doing. I'm saying that things have been put in place because that's not what...
So why weren't you guys there standing and watching it happen?
Because unfortunately, the principal is in the mainland, and my wife was going through some major complications with my baby.
Well, I'm sorry, you've done it all wrong. You're just proving our point that you keep doing it wrong over and over and over again, and there are 1,000,001 reasons, and we all have lives to lead, but you've done it wrong. Over and over and over again, including this meeting. So when is it going to change? That's my question. When is it not going to be done the wrong way?
But what I'm trying to do,
Okay,
what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give information. I'm trying to let you know that I understand things didn't go exactly right. I'm trying to give this information saying, this is why I wasn't standing on the property every day. Or this is what I did as soon as we saw the guy go off balance and not do what he was supposed to. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to let you know that we're not in agreement with it either.
But every step has been like that. So where are we supposed to trust? You haven't given us 1 ounce of anything that has either been true or hasn't changed. Right? So where are we going to start building that trust? And are you really that shocked that we aren't really at the table to build that trust?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
And to be honest, I knew this was, these questions, and that's what we wanted. We wanted the concerns, we wanted the questions. We knew this. We knew this. Right? And again, we just want to give information and try something. I don't know. Could it have been, I set up a full spread on turkey and lunch and food? I don't know. I'm just trying, what can we do? What I'm saying is, okay, so what you're telling me is that today's meeting is not working. Today's meeting is not a positive step forward to try and build something. That's what you tell me. How can I want to try and
having a meeting is a positive step.
Okay.
Right? Can you understand why noon on a Monday at your facility was not the greatest idea?
Yes. Yes.
And hearing that you tried to stop the bulldozer, hearing that you tried to set up a better meeting, hearing that you tried to send out notices, isn't good enough. Okay? It isn't. That's all fine. It's not good enough. And this is just me. I can't speak for the room. This is just me. It is not good enough. And when we talked on that property, I told you, I'm not against schools. But I would watch to make sure that this is done the right way. And everything, I hate to say everything, most everything has been done the wrong way, including something like this meeting. And that mindset just doesn't seem to be apparent. That if you really want to bring the community out, to troubleshoot, to flesh out problems, all of that, this probably wasn't the best one. And yet you had it anyway, regardless of how we got it.
Because I think it needs to be done somehow, somewhere. I understand what you're saying. I understand that, and you don't think that this was the correct form, and I received that. But I know for me, I wanted to try to do something. And even if that first step was just to do this, then that's at least that first step. I wanted to do something.
I'll shut up after this, but here's a crazy idea. Ask the community when they can meet. That probably would have done a little bit better than setting a time.
And again, that's exactly what we were going to do. But again...
But you didn't. Again.
We didn't because schedules... But Jason, I'm trying to tell you exactly what happened.
I know. Sorry, I'll shut up.
We're trying, Jason. We're trying. This is not the best time. We understand that. Kaumana Elementary can't, the whole Christmas break, we can't do it. The whole time. I'm going to Oahu and to the mainland until the 6th, until right before school comes back in. I mean, I know, I understand this isn't the ideal thing to do, and this is what we talked about. The ideal thing is I wanted to send a letter the day after the commission meeting to every community member saying what would be a good day for you folks to meet before we have the meeting. I called Kaumana Elementary, we can't have it up there.
Why not?
Because they're renovating their facilities from what we were told. They're renovating, so we can't have it. That's what we were told.
Because I called Kaumana School today to ask if somebody from Connections called to try to reserve a room or something. And the secretary told me the procedure is whoever wants to rent a room at Kaumana School has to clear it with the principal, fill out the application, clear it with the principal. Then he hands it to the SASA. The SASA turns it over to the district office, to Valcatana. Nothing was done.
No, I can tell you, I can show you an email of these records to do what it was used to do the contract and everything. And, you know, without apologizing, Mr. Very generous in the past, but apologizing for that this is really unavailable because of housekeeping, there are limitations to so on and so on. Understanding that, the cafeteria is the best venue for a group of which we don't know how big it's going to be. We went with the next best thing.
So you ready now?
Yeah, you're saying, well, you try to stop the bulldozer. In the first place, I saw the second contract that states in the contract that you are going to build the perimeter to build the fence. If you wanted to really stop it, why did you even go ahead with the contract in the first place, knowing beforehand that they are going to go into the dozer?
Because it was specific. It was only supposed to be a 10-foot clearing, and that is stipulated in the contract, a 10-foot clearing, and it is not supposed to be no turnabouts, no, I mean, it's specifically said in there exactly what they're supposed to do. And that's not what they did. They didn't do it. What I did was I went in and they said, we can't get the machine down there to do the equipment and this and that, so we need this flattened out. So that's why it's specific to exactly what they needed to do. And when they came over behind the Turner's house, that's not what they did. And when I came, after, I think it was 2 days after I talked to Jason, when I did come, is when I went with the owner of the fencing company and went in front of the dozer and said, stop, what are you doing? This is not what it is. And then I come to find out the dozer's broken. That's why I was sitting in a back not doing anything after the destruction already happened. That's why we went and called the police. That's why we filed charges, and we have charges against them for going off of the contract, not doing what they're supposed to.
And I know in one of the meetings, they said, oh yeah, you guys are going to make sure you're not going over the caves at any point and all this. And the reason you're not using the lower corner of your property is because the cave is there. Yet, the property line runs right over the cave, and in the contract it states to follow the property line with the dozer in order to put up the fence, which means it is contracted to go over the cave. Now, if you guys didn't realize that, then a lot of stuff, follow it off, there's a lot of them. Right off the bat, anybody would have known. You look at the map that you guys provided, it shows the cave, shows the property line, that contract says, okay, follow the property
I
line.
think that's the piece right behind the Turner's house, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure where it is. Already, by contract, you guys are already going against what you told us you guys are absolutely not. So, a lot of the other things you guys were telling us, I asked the question before, Mr. Thatcher at the Kaumana meeting. So, very property values. Is it up, is it down, is it the same? He said, oh, emphatically, it goes up. I checked with the realtor. If you're building a regular elementary school in new area, new community, yes, property values will be higher because the school is there. For the new families with kids or potentially with kids are going to be coming in. In the case of an established area that does not have a school, but trying to stick a school in the middle of this other area that is not really set up for every school. I was told that the property got ruled down because the potential buyers were looking at new properties to renovate and move in or whatever. They said, forget this. It's going to be congestion, it's going to be traffic, blah, blah, blah. We want somewhere else. He said, there's no question about that. So the pastor was just talking off the top of his head, or he just wants to.
Well, I know he did talk to realtors, and we heard something different. That's why he spoke to that. And again, I don't know. I didn't have that communication. But I know that I was told that he did talk to realtors, and they did say yes. You talked to another realtor, said no. I can't. I don't know. I can't answer that. What I do know is he was told yes.
And like you said, your chart is really nice, but you guys are limited to just people in the industry. What about all the other properties adjacent? We didn't even find out about the last Kaumana meeting. Well, September 2nd one last year. We never got this. We were told by people in our community, hey, there's a meeting about the school that's coming up. So check it out, right?
I think a perfect example, I saw Mr. Pang. I think that's his name, right, Mr. Pang? Their address is Medemano Street. They're a perfect example of their name is not on that list. And we talked about that. I don't know why. I don't know why their name isn't, but I know he lives right there on Medemano Street. But this is the list that we have to get from the state. So we pulled this list off, and that's who we mailed to. So I apologize if you didn't get anything. I don't know. I don't know why. That's the list that we got, so that's what we have to go.
And I have another question. Issues were brought up at the commission meeting, not this last one, the previous one. Now, regarding traffic, what have you done in order to mitigate any kind of traffic concerns?
There are still communications with Mr. Brown. We still are trying to do everything we can with finding different areas, different accesses. We still are actively moving forward with trying to find the best solution.
Okay. Assuming that's true when you're doing that, great. Now, coming on January 10th, the next commission meeting?
Yes.
That's when the decision is going to be made under proposal.
Yes.
If you do not have a resolution to the traffic issues and the water issue, and they will approve you, that means we're going to be left high and dry with a traffic situation, or if you say, oh, we're going to make a turn lane or whatever it is, the only way you can do that is by condemning some of the community residents' property in order to increase the road size or whatever. So we're going to take the brunt with the hit for you're not being able to work it out with the hot day or whatever it is. Is that correct?
So what you're saying is, in the event we do get approval and we do need to use Edita Street, that the homeowners living along Edita Street will have to encroach into their property. That's what
We
you're
should all
saying.
call on.
Sue, can you answer that?
I mean, there's no other way because there is no shoulder that you can take to increase the road. It's going to have to be somebody's property. That means, moving poles, whatever. Maybe even relocating water meters, water lines, whatever. Is that going to come out of our pocket, state's pocket, community's pocket, your school? We haven't heard any answers. Right.
Right. So you had a lot of questions in there, so we'll try to answer them. Related to the widening of the street from Kaumana Drive to the county has asked us to provide an 8-foot shoulder for They developed that conditional approval based on county right. So have to look at their real property tax records, see what types of rights of way there are. But again, that's the county letting out that information. I don't mind taking that out to the county.
I mean, that's fine, but isn't it kind of weird? If you guys are going to start going ahead with the project, assuming it's financially go ahead, the road might not be modified or anything for years. We'll get funding. So in the meantime, everything is
That's correct, but the school won't be occupied either to move improvements. That's what the county is telling us in the conditions of approval, that a number of things have to occur before a student can come and start their year class. So there are some safeguards in the conditions of approval, and I appreciate this because it helps me communicate better with the planning department so that we can begin to structure those conditions, which become those boundaries or guidelines that the applicant has to adhere to. And then the county becomes that policing the applicant not doing what the county asks. They have the ability to follow the applicant accountable and start the process to undo the special permit. So I know that some of you here are looking for assurances or how to, who holds who accountable. This application and its processes, the county does become that content policing of conditions that the applicant wants.
So assuming that the county is going to be exclusive in this situation, okay, fine. You're going to go ahead, assuming you get the permits and approval, you start building your school, and then if you cannot reach a equitable settlement, what do you do? What the county does? Your school is just going to be sitting there, not doing anything.